record on this computer. Perfect. Great. So we're recording. So welcome to TADHack Orlando 2020 Sponsors Resources Briefing Session. Now that's a mouthful. Now on process, please keep your line on mute unless you're presenting. Thanks. Now, during the presentations, if you have any questions, please ask them in the chat, and then we'll run through the questions once we get to the end of the session. It just enables us to get through all the sponsors resources and then handle the questions at the end. Now, I want to say a big thank you for everyone who is taking part in TADHack Orlando this year. I know many of you are extremely busy in helping businesses, customers, families, and neighbors work from home. It is an exceptionally busy time. We've also seen developers around the world coming together to solve problems, for example, on ventilators, on body temperature testing, and many other community projects to help us get through the coming year. Online entry has been part of TADHack since its beginning in 2014. Normally, about 25% of the entries are online. We sort of refer to them as remote because we have a base and then people can hack anywhere around the world and submit their entries. The reason we've done that is because it's hard for developers to afford the time and money to attend a specific location. So online has helped us make TADHack as inclusive as possible for developers all around the world. Now, given the unusual time we found ourselves in, this online remote entry method has enabled us to make TADHack Orlando online only. I hope TADHack gives you some fun learning about the new technologies from the sponsors, to take your mind off the incessant news that's out there at the moment by hacking and solving problems that matter to you. Now, to understand the procedures for doing your remote entry, just go to TADHack.com, TADHack.com, click on Orlando, and there you'll find all the sponsors' resources, the link to the TADHack Orlando chat. That's using matrix.org. Thank you to those that have already signed up to that chat. We'll use that in the run-up to TADHack and also through the weekend. And you'll find there the link to the remote entry procedures. The most important deadline is to get your pitch video to me by 1 p.m. Eastern on Sunday 29th at the latest. That's 1 p.m. Eastern, not 1 p.m. Central or West Coast. It's 1 p.m. Eastern. And also we're being quite relaxed about when you can start. I mean, you can start now, hack, basically when you have a bit of spare time, and then bring everything together on the weekend. So that's my piece done. I want to keep this session focused on the sponsors. So without further ado, I'd like to introduce Nelson and Cora from Intelepeer. Intelepeer are a new sponsor to TADHack, and I'm grateful that they're here showing their commitment to developers by sponsoring TADHack Orlando, even though Enterprise Connect, which was the sort of big event that we were sort of attached to, has been postponed. Though if it gets postponed for 1 year and it's an annual event, I'm not sure the difference between cancelling and being postponed. But anyway, enough of that. What I'd like to do is Nelson, Cora, over to you.
Hello?
Yep.
All right, so let me share my screen so you guys can see. All right. Cora, you there? All right, Cora, it's not there. So we are in Intelepeer. My name is Nelson Medina. I'm a solution engineer. And my coworker, Cora Brito, she's an implementation engineer. So we, as an Intelepeer, we have our platform. It's called CPaaS, right? And what we do with CPaaS, and we call it CPaaS 2.0, because we do not need any code or low code or no code in order to put together different applications via SMS or voice or any other thing that you want to do, right? Um, our software comprises of various applications. We have Insights is uh, our to look all the data that we're using. Engage is our application that we use for massive or SMS and voice enabling a channel. And SmartFlow is our main software, where you can build custom omni-channel communication workflows. So just to give you guys a really quick sample of how to log in into our software and start working, we created an account for everybody in the TADHack to log in. They can go to www.atmosphereandtelepeer.com/login. Username is going to be atmosphere@gmail, and the password is going to be Andromeda with a 0 where the O is, right? And we're going to go really quick there. And we're going to, once you sign in, you're going to be presented with this page, Atmosphere portal. And here on the left, we're going to have all of our applications. We have our dashboards, your numbers, and your SmartFlows applications and Engage applications. So on SmartFlows is where you're going to be presented with a dashboard where all your SmartFlows are going to be. You can go here, create, and the plus sign. We're going to have templates and flows. On templates, obviously, you're going to have our basic templates where you SMS multiple entries, calling survey, SMS multiple language translations, or anything, right? So once you click it, you're gonna be presented with that flow here, and you can start a new flow. And our canvas is the main canvas in the middle. You can see it. On the left, you're gonna have all the actions. Oh, I'm sorry, I'm getting. Let me close this. All right, so on the left, you're gonna have all the actions, and we divide the actions by triggers, basic actions, control actions, and premium actions. So every flow has to start with a trigger. So you can either have an inbound call or an inbound SMS, inbound API. Is this keep sounding? One second. So once you have a trigger, you can start working on that flow. For example, on this one, language translation, we have where an inbound SMS comes in. Then we have our action where it says the detect language. So every time you put an action and the action creates new variables, all the variables are going to show here on the left side. The left side is more informational side. You're going to have all the variables where you can drag and drop variables to the boxes and everything. So, I mean, this is a very simple one. An inbound SMS comes in. We detect the language of the SMS. And this is going to give you, if we couldn't understand what it was, then this detect language is going to give you ES for Spanish, EN for English, and then you can translate whatever language it is to whatever language you want, right? On a quick overview on all the actions that we have, we can dial, transfer, play audio. In play audio, we have our speech to text, and you can have different type of vendors, IBM, Google, or Amazon Web Services, with all the type of voices that each vendor provides. And whatever you put in here, we're gonna put it. This is a message, right? But if you have a inbound call, you can play any audio here, and that audio is gonna be on the call. Collect DTMF. That's also for audio calls. So when you have an audio call and you ask, please put your account number, you can collect it here. You can put how many digits you want, and if you want a termination key. WhatsApp send and WhatsApp receive, we did not enable WhatsApp number to the TADHack account. but this is an option that you guys can have. Facebook messages, you guys can add this to your TADHack account. You just have to have a Facebook account or business that you can tag it in. You can create a fake business and tag it into here. So you can actually uh, chat on Facebook and modify that message or connect that Facebook chat with a bot or however you guys want. Um, and well, you guys can check all this. We have our resources that explains every actions that we have with every single one. We also, in every action we have here on the left, we have an information tab that tells you sometimes what the action has, and you can check that out there too. Um, one of the main actions that you guys can check here is external web call, right? An external web call is how you connect a call to any third-party application, because we can use a JSON, post, patch, put, get, and you can basically, you can have a call and then go and dip into a database, into a CRM, and get information from that number and come back and respond back saying, hello, Nelson, hello, everybody. So this is one of the main actions you guys probably gonna want to use the most. Uh, on our premium actions, most of these premium actions are involved with IBM. We have Watson Assistant, translate, detect language, tonality, sentiment, speech recognitions. All these use IBM, and we already set up. You don't have to have an IBM account to have this. If you want to implement a Watson Assistant, you do need an IBM account and a bot here. And with those 3 boxes, you can have the enable a bot, right, via SMS or voice. So once you're done with this, a flow that you want to activate and make it working, let's say you put a name here. Let's change the name of this flow. TADHack, save and deploy. So once you deploy the flow, you have to go to your dashboard and to your number tab, go to your phone number. Now, we enable 20 numbers for TADHack, and we're gonna give each group a number, so they can have their own number where they can, it could be SMS or voice. So once you have your number here assigned, you can go to the Manage tab and select flow. That's the flow that I created, TADHack. And once I assign it here, that flow, you can text into that flow and everything's gonna work, right? So you can text to this number that is here. So you can text to this number any message in something that is not English or in English, and it will text you back the translation. Let me see what else. You can have an audio library. You guys can upload something if you guys want to play some type of audio. Something else that I wanted to tell you guys, we created a TADHack Slack. So if you guys have any questions, you guys can join in. This is the name and the join link, or you can always email us to my email or Cora's, and we're here to help you guys. If you guys have any other questions, you can let us know. We also attach a bunch of resources, and the best way to know our product is getting in and start playing with it. The learning curve is really fast. Once you understand the product, that dragging and dropping stuff in the canvas and making it work, you guys will get it super fast. And the best resources you can get is in our website. You can go intelepeer.com, in the search bar, search whatever you want, and you're probably gonna have some documentation about it. And if you don't get anything there, you can always go to the Slack and email us, and we'll get back to you guys. I don't know if Cora is still on. If
Yep,
Cora has something else to add.
Can you hear me?
Yeah.
I was trying to shout my name earlier. Nelson, amazing. I think you went through the platform and you kind of went through all the details. The Slack channel right now is going to be probably like your best route here. You're going to get us instantly. We're both going to be on. We have the whole Intelepeer support group also with us so that, you know, on the back end, if we need to address, we have a system, we have a channel within the Slack channel that is called Get Numbers. So that's going to be your way of, hey, I want to see how I can get an SMS or a voice call, or you want a number assigned. That's where you would just let us know via the Slack channel. We have that Get Number tab. The other thing also is you want to see some use cases. You want to get ideas. The platform is super powerful, and we have really cool integrations and we have really cool flows already built. Definitely go into the Intelepeer.com use cases, some documentation. Some of the links on there are really, really helpful on slide number 8, which you could really show you how it's built, and it actually shows you the build out of some of these awesome flows. There's a tab on the Smart Flow. Nelson, I don't know if you mentioned that on the actual portal. There's a tab where it says template, and we added a couple of like cool templates already built just to kind of get you started. Yeah, you can customize them. So yeah, like on the right hand side, yep, you could just do template. You want like a little quick, you know, call in survey, or you want, yep, you select it, boom, it's already filled. We made sure we added those features for you. And at this point, if you have any questions with the flow, we're welcome to, again, Slack is going to be the best way. Use email last resource, because I think of back and forth, we might lose some instancy there, but I think Slack is going to be your best route. If you have any questions, for sure, we're here.
Excellent. That was great. Thank you so much, Nelson and Cora. Do we have any questions from anybody? We have a couple of minutes of time. I have a quick question, Nelson. Those slides, are they? Can I share them publicly, or should I just share? Can I share them, you know, as a file to those people that have already registered for TADHack Orlando?
Cora, do you know? I think they can. You can. We have the account, and we have a limited number, so we don't.
Oh, that's right. Yeah, you don't have those out. Yeah.
But is Sarah on? Sarah from Intelepeer.
Yeah, I'm here. I would say it's totally fine to share it with the people that have registered, but yeah,
perfect.
We don't want to share the log.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. So that's what I'll do. So if you could send it to me, I'll make sure it goes out to everybody that's registered to ensure that they can get signed up to the Slack channel.
If you like, and this is an idea, we could remove that username and password out of the presentation to kind of have them through the Slack channel available so that they can get it through there.
Perfect. And it's up to you. It's whatever you want to do. I'm flexible. So you just let me know, and I'll either share it with just those registered, or if you do want to make it so more people can see, because it's a nice introduction to your you know, all the tools and the sort of templates that you've got. So I think, you know, it's good to get that, you know, out, not just to those that have registered, but to anybody that's interested. So if we can do that, then that would be perfect. Okay.
And anybody can log in into our website and create a free account. You will have limited resources there. So the account that we open for TADHack, we made it in our pro level, so you have access to all of the tools. So, but everybody can sign into Intelepeer and get a free account, and they get basic functions, and they can actually go and create a flow there, and it will work.
Excellent. That's great, Nelson. Thank you so much. So moving on, just to keep on schedule. Now, Kathleen, I can see you've joined us. Are you good to go, or do you need a little time to get set up? You're on mute at the moment, Kathleen. There you go.
Yeah, I believe I need a little bit of time. I'm just going to have Charles and Ross join me.
No problem. No problem at all. Then I will ask Joe. You are up next. So Joe is from VoIP Innovations. Now, I'm sure some of you have already met Joe before. VoIP Innovations had 2 prizes, one for using Appidays and the second for using the open source project Asterisk. Now, VoIP Innovations bought Appidays several years ago, and Appidays were one of the first sponsors of TADHack back in 2014. So they have been with us throughout the experience of TADHack. So what I would like to do, Joe, is hand over to you.
All right, thanks for the intro. Can everybody hear me okay?
Yep.
It's always weird joining a conference. You never know if your voice is coming through okay because you can't hear yourself.
No problem.
Let me share my browser here. Unfortunately, I was not provided a PowerPoint. Our marketing department is a little bit underwhelmed right at the moment. So let me just go through how to get started and what you can do through our platform. The easiest place to start off is probably right on TADHack's website under developer resources. We have a link for online signups along with some simple videos. I'll go over most of what you need to know from these. And if you need some inspiration, maybe take a look at the virtual assistant demo or virtual receptionist demo. Our in-house programmers put together something that basically our CTO wanted a demo, and they got all excited about it and put this together. It's actually a really impressive demo where if you receive a call in and a text transcription gets texted to you and you text back and have a conversation with that person real time. On your side it's SMS, on their side it's voice. It took them about 48 hours, which is a testament to TADHack's normal time frame. And I think that they actually tweaked a little bit over the course of about a week for stability and stuff, but most of it was feature complete in 48 hours. So after you click the account link, the sign-up process is actually really simple. It's just an email address and password, and you'll be brought to the dashboard. Got to get on our marketing site. We apparently still have last year's intro up here in the portal, but all of the information there is still applicable. You'd want to create an application right in this page. The applications themselves will let you do a variety of things. There's 2 options here. One for a generic XML script that is not very flexible, but it'll allow you to test out sort of some of the functionality and what we can do. And then an external script URL, which will actually, on a phone call, we will request your web server and ask it what to do. So how do you tell us what to do? We go over here to our documentation page. You speak to us through a fairly simple XML dialect. Dial this number, this SIP account, answer the call, play back this WAV file, and you can play back a WAV file from remote, you can upload to us, intercept calls in progress, speak tag for text-to-speech, variety of other things. On the other side, for things that are transactional, there's our REST API. And this covers, for example, seeing calls in progress, sending an SMS or MMS message, downloading call recordings that you might have recorded previously, and managing media files. If you want us to host it, you can upload files here, replace them, whatever you need to do there. We also have a WebRTC SDK. We haven't seen much uptake on this. A couple of contestants from last year, I think one team used it in Orlando, and just what you'd expect out of a WebRTC SDK. It connects to our service and starts a phone call. From there, you can do whatever your webhook tells us to do with it. Speak, forward, transfer, conference things together, whatever your imagination tells you. The last thing, and these are kind of beta, but I should probably bring them up. We have some SDKs available for a variety of different languages that'll get you off the ground running. turn your REST API calls into a simple, method call within these languages. And I believe there's an XML builder and a way to even host the XML document in there. They're brand new. I know that our developers have signed off on them, but I don't think any of them have had to use it. So there may be some awkwardness there. There may be some issues that we haven't noticed in testing, or all hands are off. All bets are off. You never know what's going to be in there. They're here if you want to use them. If they end up being too much of a hassle, maybe you just abandon them, and we'll take defect reports on that. Lastly, how to contact us. And I think I'm running very short, probably because I don't have a PowerPoint to slow me down. The best way to contact us is probably going to be in Alan's actual matrix chat. I'm going to be in there and sort of milling about for the whole weekend, and probably for the next week leading up to there, at least during business hours. We're East Coast, so like 7 a.m. to like 6 or 7 p.m. is probably about when you'll see me there. I figured that would probably be the best way to get in there, and I'll be available for advice and direct support, debugging, that sort of thing. If it hits your fancy and there's maybe a problem with a number and you don't, or I'm busy and can't respond, there's a little chat box down here that goes straight to our support. We're going to have a fairly buffed team for the weekend because we know that the TADHack is going on and that we're not going to have anyone there in person to provide frontline support. So these guys will be able to help you with most things as well, and at very least they'll be able to sort of proxy back to me if something happens and I'm for whatever reason not available in the matrix chat. I think that's about it for me. Sorry for throwing your timeline off, Alan.
No, that is perfect. And you covered all the pieces. People know how to contact you, to just go on the TADHack Orlando chat. The link is on the TADHack Orlando page. In fact, you can just see it there.
Right there.
TADHack Orlando chat, thank you so much. So you just click on that, sign up, and we'll be using that throughout. So that's the best way to be able to contact Joe. Chat is always the best way, and I'd recommend definitely going through Joe first to ensure you have a great experience.
I agree.
All the other people on the call, do we have any other questions for Joe? If not, just to jump around, Gabriella had a question for the Intelepeer team. So Gabriella was asking, the account available for TADHack will be shared with all participants, so we will get to see the flows created by all participants. So that's a question that was coming from Gabriella. Cora, Nelson, do you have a response to that one? You can see the question in the chat.
Yeah, I was just reading, actually, as you said that, I was just reading the questions there. Sarah could probably help us answer that one.
Guys, so you'll have one login to share, but I believe that we have numbers that we will be able to assign to you to build out your flows. So, I mean, Nelson and Cora, I believe in the platform, will they be able to see the other flows associated with those numbers?
Yep, they will. They will.
Don't worry. I mean, it is what it is. We're working, in unusual circumstances. But it's for Gabriella, at least that that it will be visible to the other teams. But to be honest with you, I think everybody will be heads down, just trying to get their hack working. And we're not so much doing it as a competition around who is using our tool in the most sophisticated or academic way. It's really about your hack, the problem you're solving, and the value that you're showing of the Intelepeer platform in solving, demonstrating the solution that your hack is solving. So it's a little bit more complex. So I would say to a first order, don't worry, it shouldn't be an issue. Good. Okay, thanks. Exactly. A good learning experience too. So hopefully that answers your question. Okay, do we have any other questions for either Intelepeer or for Joe from VoIP Innovations? If not, again, thank you, Joe, for keeping us on time. What I would like to do is Kathleen, handing over to you. Are you good?
Yes, I will talk a bit briefly.
I recognize that office.
Yes. It is empty. It is far emptier than I think I've ever seen it. But we are all working remotely now, given the times. So
With the hand sanitizer in the background.
Yes, several bottles of that dotted throughout the office. We're all kind of remote at the moment, which is great because we were able to go remote rather quickly. We did a couple of practices and things, so this will be kind of a fun experience doing a remote conference. So for Simwood, we are based in the UK, Bristol specifically, so we've got a little bit of a time difference, but we will have people on hand. We will have a Slack. I've just created a Slack workspace for everybody that we'll have up on our resources pages, which we'll be watching and paying attention to. You can ask any questions you have there, and we will be happy to help. We'll have some dedicated people on hand. And we've got some cool resources, which I will screen share really quickly. Let's see if I can get this. Oop. Half a second. Oh, I'm having a little bit of a permissions error issue with Zoom. But you can visit TADHack.com 2020-mini Orlando. Click on the Simwood link. We've got some resources there. We have a getting started guide, which will walk you through setting up, Simwood accounts, some of the finer details about configuring trunks and numbers and some of the things you can do. We have some exciting resources that we added, I believe, just in time for the TADHack Global last year. Things like webhooks and our API, and we had recently acquired, but are now much more involved with Nimbello and Subcentric resources as well, which will have some of that available. We've got some people on hand that'll be able to help and ask questions or answer questions that you guys may have. I believe we're going to have some resource pages for those put up. They're not up at the moment, but we will get those put up for you. It's just been a little bit interesting. So yeah, we'll get that set up and going. We do have a sign up page, although I believe we do need to update the link to that, so you guys will be able to sign up for Simwood accounts soon. We do have a sign up page for Simwood accounts. It's sort of a fraud prevention thing as well, so you will need to sign up for a Simwood account, but we've got people on hand to go ahead and approve those for you quickly and get you going. And I believe that is it for us. I didn't have slides either, but if anybody has any questions.
It's okay. As I said, everybody has a lot going on at the moment. Yeah. But the key is we're going to make this happen and show that the world continues no matter what. So I've got the updates from Kathleen. I'm going to get them updated tonight so that everything should hopefully be good to go for the TADHack weekend by tomorrow. So all the resources will be there. I know we have a couple of teams from the UK that are looking at extending the hack they did at Global. So because they weren't able to use the Subcentric stuff last year, but they're looking to try and use it this year. So as always, nothing needs to be perfect. You know, that's the whole point of doing these hackathons, is to use resources that are new, fresh, exciting, discovering all the problems with them, telling you all about them, and still producing a hack out at the end of it. So that was great, Kathleen. Again, thank you so much.
Thank you.
Before we wrap up, and I just ask for any final questions, there's one thing I do need to mention. Inference Solutions has just pulled out of being a sponsor. So I learned about that today. So if you were planning to use their technology, I'd recommend using, for example, Google Dialogflow instead. I mean, you saw with Intelepeer, they have basically the templates and the adapters to be able to work with a number of bot frameworks. So that makes it very easy indeed. So with that, do we have any more questions from the participants? And I'm just checking to see on the chat if I've got all the questions there. Nothing from Mike. Good. Thank you for letting me know. Nope. Right. Yeah. So with asterisks, apodies and asterisks, the question, the requirement is, if it's possible to, combine them together. Have a look through the resources, Miko, and if you are struggling, ping me, ping Joe on the chat, on the TADHack chat, and we'll get back to you on that. And also, I know you were hacking with us in Phoenix, so thanks for joining us in Orlando. And the difference this time is there are no challenges set. We really want you to look at problems in your home, work, in your community, and look at how you can use the sponsors' resources to try and solve a problem that matters to you across your whole experience. I know we have several teams, they're not on the call today, but that are looking at doing hacks specific to COVID-19. As you could imagine, it's for them a very important issue. So hopefully that gives you a review. Oh, 3 new messages. Great, excellent. So no more questions. So with that, I will stop recording.